Welcome everyone. The title of this video is Revelation. Is it in chronological order? Now this is an interesting question because if it is true, it would help us develop a tribulation timeline, since most of the book of Revelation is about the tribulation. With a timeline, we could possibly discern more scripture to obtain a bigger picture of how the end time events will occur. Now not all of the book of Revelation is a timeline. The timeline starts in chapter 4 when John was told to come up here, and from there continues to the last chapter, which is 22. The first three chapters, 4, 5, and 6, give us a view into heaven, and the Lamb, which is Jesus, is given the book of the seven seals and begins to open them in chapter 6, verse 1, which starts the tribulation. And we get to the seventh seal, which is the last seal, being opened in chapter 8, verse 1. And the very next verse, verse 2, says 7 angels were given trumpets, which is still part of the seventh seal. And the trumpets are sounded, and we get to the seventh trumpet in chapter 11, verse 15. Okay, now we are in the middle of the tribulation, and it has been in chronological order so far. The Lamb opened the 7 seals, and at the 7 seals 7 angels were given trumpets. The angels blew the trumpets, and here we are in the middle of the tribulation. Now there are some events that occur in chapters 12, 13, and 14, and then chapter 15, verse 1, says 7 angels are given the 7 last plagues. That's right, first the 7 seals, then the 7 trumpets, and last are the 7 plagues, bowls or vials depending on your translation, which are fully described in chapters 15 and 16 when they are poured out. Then again, chapters 17, 18, and 19 describe some more events that take place. And finally we get to chapters 20, 21, and 22, which describe the end. So first we have the 7 seals which are opened. Then at the 7th seal, the angels are given 7 trumpets. After the trumpets is a short span with some events. Then the angels are given 7 vials or bowls, and it says they are last. Well, they are last. Then there are a few more events, and the tribulation is over. And the last chapters of Revelation explain what happens after the tribulation. Now I don't see how you can get any more in order than that. The book of Revelation is in order. So you see, our God is a God of order, not of disorder. And he gave these revelations to the Apostle John to benefit those living in the last days, so that they would not be totally blind. Now I made this overly simple, but to the point. Now we could go through Revelation chapter by chapter, verse by verse, and I could show you more detail. But my explanation on these chapters, it should be clear that the book of Revelation is indeed in chronological order, and a more detailed analysis of word usage should not be necessary. Also, the book of Daniel describes events that happen in the middle of the tribulation, and these events are also repeated in the middle of the book of Revelation. This gives more verification. It is in chronological order. What more do you need? So we can use the book of Revelation as a biblical timeline in chronological order, so we can follow God's timeline and understand prophetic events. Thank you for watching.